Welcome to Face the Analyst. I am your host, Jay Taylor, and I'm really pleased to be here with Lawrence Page. He's the president and CEO of Southern Silver. Southern Silver trades on the Toronto Exchange, symbol SSV, approximately 90 million shares outstanding, and it's recently trading at 28 cents, gives it a market cap of around $25 million. Welcome, Mr. Page, to Face the Analyst.
Thank you very much, Jay.
Really good to have you. I know that you're focused primarily in Mexico, silver and gold targets, also in New Mexico, and you have a copper property that I think is very, very interesting in Arizona. But let's talk a little bit about Mexico first. Is there a flagship property or two that you'd like to highlight for our
Yes,
viewers?
there is. Southern Silver has recently acquired a property called Cerro Las Minitas, which is in Durango State. It's a large property. It's 25 lineal kilometers long, and it's 11,000 hectares. It has 2 producing mines on the property and a tremendous amount of exploration potential. So I'd like to tell you a bit about that, and then I tell you about the other companies or the other properties in the group. Okay.
Well, let's focus then on the exploration potential. How much work has been done there so far? Do you have a 43-101 resource calculation yet, or is it too early for that?
No, it's too early for that. We acquired the property in roughly October. We have the ability to earn 100% interest over 3 years by spending $4 million. The property came to us through our geologist that lives in Chihuahua and has looked after our Mexican properties for some considerable time. And he thought it was the best property he's ever looked at. And so we're going to spend a good deal of money exploring it this year. And I've just come back from Durango with the geologists, and they enthused me very much.
So do you have a drill program going now, or you're about to start a drill program there?
We're in a permitting process. We've dealt with the ejidos. We have all of the approvals, and we expect to get a drill permit imminently. We've just signed the contracts to do a fairly big airborne magnetometer survey. We're doing some drilling as soon as we get the permit on some geological structures under the mine. The mine is being mined at 50 tons per day by the vendor at the present time, and that's fine as far as we're concerned. We're going to do some IP there, and we're going to have a very interesting 2011 good news flow coming from that.
So how much drilling do you expect to do on that property in 2011?
Well, the initial drilling is 3,000 meters under the existing ore body. And I say an ore body because it's being mined now.
Sure.
We've worked in Mexico for some considerable time, and you probably know that most of the mines there are being developed because of outcrops and structures. There is one outcrop. Cerro is a small mountain of many mines. That's what this is called. And we think that the airborne on the 25-kilometer stretch under the alluvium may turn out some very, very interesting targets. That's what happened in Penasquito, in Zacatecas with Western Silver. That's a 1 billion-ounce silver deposit with 16 million ounces of byproduct gold. And that was found through geophysics. So we think that emulating that, we may be able to fill in one or a number of mines. It's a mining district, and there are many mines surrounding us.
Certainly is a large property interest that you have there. What else do you have in Mexico that you'd like to highlight?
We started about 4 years ago when we started the Southern Silver Company. It's called San Luis, and it's in Amica, and we've got about $1.5 million in the ground. We purchased an old mine that had been shut down since the Pancho Villa days from the government, and we're exploring around that area. It's a vein structure, silver, copper, gold. Good targets. We're permitted, and we're going to be, as soon as we get the drilling going on Cerro Las Minitas, we're going to move a crew over to San Luis and drill that.
What about New Mexico? You have something going on there as well.
New Mexico is very interesting. There's some patented claims were granted when New Mexico came into statehood. And geologists that I know staked some BLM ground around it, but nobody knew who owned the patented claims. We tracked him down a few years ago. He was the last man standing of the family, contracted to buy the property, did some geophysics, did some reasonably shallow drilling, and we were able also to buy the state interlying ground on an auction recently. So we've now put the land package together. We've done geophysics. Our last drilling was going into land we didn't own, and it was increasing to depth. So we're in the permitting process. We'll be drilling there second quarter of 2011. One of the most exciting projects that we have that's not costing us a dime is in Tucson. And as you know, that's copper country.
Yes, indeed.
And the task of the majors now is to explore for copper without a large scar on the surface. The days of open pits are done. The Resolution mine of Rio Tinto up near Phoenix, they're mining a mile deep. They have 1.6 billion pounds of 1.5 copper, and they're mining underground. Freeport came to us. Freeport's the largest copper miner in the world. It came to us and asked if they could drill our property, and that was great because we didn't have the funds to do that deep drilling. They drilled one hole down to around 1,100 meters. The second hole is permitted and is being drilled right now. The reverse circulation is going down to bedrock, and then a large core rig is ready to go, and they'll drill a mile deep. And if they find the target, then we've got a money maker.
Okay, now as I understand it, you don't have to put any money into the ground in that project. That is that Freeport McMoRan is earning a 70% interest, I believe, by funding
spending $3 million.
$3 million. And they're going to drill a mile deep hole. What about the hole they drilled to 1,100 meters? Was there any significant results from that?
According to the geologist, it was very significant. It was not ore grade copper, but it was 400 meters of anomalous copper. It was enough to encourage them to get the permitting going and get another hole ready to go. This is limestone capping, and as I understand it, the copper leached down to a greater depth, and they're going to drill until they can find the intrusion. And if they do, then they may have something as big as the large copper producers in that area. So the point is, if we're carried to 30% on that, then we're very happy, and the shareholders will be very happy.
Of course, after that $3.5 million is spent, then you'll be obligated to come in with 30% of the program from then on, I suppose.
Yes, and I don't think that we're going to have difficulty in...
If they're successful.
That's right.